Hey, we're going to start digitizing our flipbooks now. You should have at this point taken pictures of your each and every frame, trying your very best to make them as consistent as possible between each picture. That means clean light, filling the camera frame with each and every frame that you had created. Make sure you're keeping it steady and make sure that everything is staying as aligned as you possibly can, because that's going to save you a lot of work here in Photoshop. So this is my second time I've recorded this part. Seems the first time I had some sort of audio technical difficulty. So here we go again. I'm going to start this all over again. So what I want to do is create new. Actually, you know what? I don't want to create new. I want to file, and I want to go to scripts, and I want to load files in the stack. All right. And so this little window pops up here. And what I want to do is browse. And you should have saved your images in your H drive. That's where mine are saved. And what I want to do is select every single image from your title frame to your very last frame and click OK. You'll see they populate right here in this little window. I know it's ready when this highlights, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And what this is going to do now is it's going to take a little bit of time, and it's going to start loading every single frame that we had just populated into our layers panel here. So I'm going to give this some time to load. It'll give you some time to kind of catch up and let yours load as well. So I'm going to pause this for right now. All right, so that took an incredibly long time, but I went and paused it. So now you can see everything is populated here in my layers panel. You'll notice that it took some of those and also like flipped them, like for whatever reason, the camera or Photoshop read those as images that were vertical rather than horizontal. So what I want to do, because I have 55 frames here, and it's pretty good quality images for each and every frame, you'll see that this alone, this file, won't let me save it because it's set to, like, all of these images all together end up being 3.5 gigs of memory, not memory, storage, basically, space. And so what I want to do is resize this to something more manageable. So I'm going to go to image, and I'm going to wait because Photoshop is kind of laggy right now because of it dealing with such a large file. So hitting image, oh, there it goes. And if Photoshop is not responsive, take your time, be calm. Don't start clicking a million things. That's not going to make anything better. And chances are you'll end up having to redo something that you just spent a lot of time on. So be patient. Image size. Clicked on that, and be patient again. Wait for this to pop up. And so I'm going to take this width right here, and I'm just going to type in 7, and I'm going to click enter for OK. And what it's going to do is kind of generate a little preview, and that's fine. I'm going to give it some time, let it do that. And I'm going to pause it again while it's doing that. Yours might not take so long. All right, so we're back, and preview is built. I don't really care about the preview, but I'm going to click OK right here. Finalize everything I've done with resizing. It's going to take some time probably, and you'll see a little another window pop up that mine's showing up on my other screen. You can't see it, but it's resizing all of those layers right now, putting them all together, but just in a smaller format. All right, so it's finished, obviously, with resizing. So now you can see that it is in a much more manageable size. It's also going to allow me to move around this document or this file with a lot more ease because of it being smaller, more manageable. So the idea behind this is to now, if you took good pictures, the best thing, that's the best thing you could have done. what you want to do is make sure that you're lining up your each and every that you have. Keep it in proportion. So I'm using my move tool, and what I'll do is start to um, adjust the dimensions of the sides here. So with my move tool, what I really want to do is wait, what happened? Make sure show transform controls is on. That way I can see what I'm actually selecting here. So when I go to adjust this here, I can see the edges of my paper, and I can OK every one of these frames. Now you're going to see a little bit of a transparent area underneath, and that's fine. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to go to the next frame. If this one needs adjusting, I'm going to do that as well, and OK, and then turn that off. Go to the next one, and then I come across some of these that are tilted sideways. So in that case, what I would do is take these. I'm going to hold Shift and rotate it. That way it locks into a 90-degree angle. I'm going to move it, and then if I need to, I'm going to adjust the sides there and click OK. Okay, I'm going to keep doing that all the way through until this is completely done. And then what I'll end up with is basically a file that has been completely adjusted. And in the end, I will have everything cropped into so that this is no longer showing as well. But I'm going to go ahead and go through these and edit mine myself and make sure that they're all properly aligned the best they can be, and click OK and turn them off and keep going so on all throughout the layers. If you took good pictures, then there's going to be very little adjustments. I'm not making much, and then just going through them all, and I'm going to finish that, and then I'm going to pause this as I'm doing so, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back, and I've adjusted and I've resized all the layers that I need to. You can see that now they're all facing the correct way. They've been resized, and so now I have this empty space at the bottom, and what I want to do now is use my crop tool, and I'm going to crop this. There's a little bit of extra space on the bottom, but I'm not too concerned about that. It is a Flipbook. We didn't make this by hand, so if there are some little inconsistencies with the edges of your paper showing in some places and not in others, I'm not going to cry about it if you don't. So, but I do want to try to get rid of as much of that empty space, or that empty that transparent space as possible. So I'm going to go in and crop that like that, and I think I can do better. So I'm going to zoom in. Oh Lord. All right, there we go. The closer you zoom in, the finer details you'll be able to, move these tools in order to crop it better. So now what that does is crop every single one of those layers, and I'm ready to move on to my next step, and that's going to be part 2 in this piece. So what I would do is save your work as it is right now, title it your name _ Flipbook, and open up the next video, and we're going to move on to creating the frame animation out of these layers here. So very important that you follow along with the instructions here. It's going to be a little bit different than what you've seen in the previous Thaumatrope video.